The new Divergent Universe came out in version 3.1, and I spent a good one and a half patch just playing through that event mode, seeing what the new Divergent Universe offered, because the previous one, the Pinnacle New Divergent Universe, was actually really nice to play. I mean, it wasn't that much difficult to get all the Jade rewards from the permanent endgame mode, not the weekly resets. It was mostly break focused, so if you had Firefly, you were you were completely fine. But any other unit, they took some time to get used to everything. Follow-up units were very good. I mean, I do remember that Elation was a very good part in the old Divergent universe. Nihility was amazing because it did a good amount of damage, and with the abundance buffs and the preservation buffs and all, it was just very well balanced, I felt. Now I know that mode was complete Firefly shilling, but still, my Fei Shao could clear it, my Acheron could clear it. Acheron without Jiaocho, mind you, Jiaocho wasn't the standard back then, so Acheron worked perfectly fine in my Kafka and Black Swan team. Come Protean Hero, it's rough. I mean, up till X5, it was easy. It just felt exactly like what we had in the old Divergent universe. Not too much HP inflation. The buffs were really good. The Curios were a hit or a miss, but if you just planned it out well, it could work. And even if your run was you screwed, you got a few negative Curios, or you got the wrong blessings or something like that, it wasn't game over. It's only game over if you get bombarded with negative Curios and the worst blessings possible, but that's a very rare case. In the old Divergent universe, at least on the lower stages or until the stage where you needed those jades, you could have just run anything and get the rewards, as long as you played well, didn't go much into the occurrence domain, and just planned it out. I know there was one thing that the old Divergent universe was really good. You could restart runs. Let's say you begin a run and you did not get the desired blessing, the desired initial equation. You wanted a hunt equation, but you got erudition, a propagation, and let's say preservation. So you could reset it and get the hunt. Try to get the hunt equation. So to make your run easier. So there was no fallback, there was no damage if you ended a run early, because you got shit RNG. Come Protean Hero. Up till X5, like I said, up till X5, it's fine. X6 to X7 is where the real hell begins, and I would have ignored X7 if it did not have jades, if it just had those 5-star artifact items or something like that, or maybe some credits and some blue feather things that you get from the MOC and the Apocalyptic Shadow and such like that. I would have completely ignored it, but it gives me jades, and even though it's minuscule, I think it's only 50 jades, but still it is jades. 50 jades could be the difference between 110 and 160. So you get that one pull could be very important, especially if you're close to soft pity, or especially if you're an F2P who needs all the jades that you can get in the game. So for that reason, I attempted X7. Initially, it was rough. The HP inflation was through the roof. I mean, these enemies had millions and millions of HP, and the bosses had hundreds of millions of HP. Your Fei Shao could be doing a 2 million hit per turn, but the HP of the boss will only go from 97 to 96 or 94 or something like that. The HP inflation is insane. Now, the counterpoint to that is the buffs are also insane, but let's be honest, the buffs are purely focused. I feel that they're purely focused still towards the newer characters, or to certain characters or something like that. I just don't gel well with the buffs that we have right now. I mean, harmony is a broken path in this game, and in the Divergent universe, harmony is a broken path, and effectively harmony is now, what should I say, a Firefly team. If you run harmony, you need to have a Firefly team to get the best out of it, break damage and all. So harmony's been relegated to that, when harmony should have been tons and tons of attack buffs and break effects and everything, a little bit of everything. There's no abundance, there's no preservation, so you stacking tons and tons of shields are no more. Abundance, you don't get that. A really, really good ultimate where it just heals you and the heal gets added to the cycle. I think that was a feature in the simulated universe, and that was so good. You had continuous heals. You could have run sustainless runs and still gotten healed and whatever. So there's no abundance anymore. Propagation has become true damage. So yeah, you have the chrysalis something, and erudition is majorly the same. And you have these other buffs, but overall the nature of the buffs don't feel very effective to me, at least when I'm doing the X5 and when I'm doing the X6 stages. I haven't reached X7 yet, because, and I will get to it, it's rough. So the buffs aren't that great. The Curios, it's a rehash of everything that the old Divergent universe had. So I'm not going to talk about the normal Curios. The weighted Curios, though, some Curios have gone through changes, and I feel like those changes are complete crap, because there's that one Curio which I think is you should have a quantum and an imaginary unit in your team to get the effects of both, and it just makes no sense. Let's say I'm playing Fushwin, so why should I keep another imaginary unit if Fushwin is just in my Acheron team? Or let's say I have Tribi. I don't have Tribi, but let's say I have Tribi and I'm running Castorus. So I have Remembrance main character and Ron May. So where's the imaginary unit gonna fit in? Unless you have Mighty. So that Curio is kind of useless, and there are a lot of other Curios like that, so it just kind of makes no sense over there. The HP inflation, like I said, it's insane. I don't get the hundreds and millions of HP. I mean, you can see it over here. I'm playing Castorus team. I got this crazy run. I got a lot of good blessings, but still, the Castorus is doing upwards of 20 million damage even, and still the enemies are tanking it. 20 million damage, and still the enemies are tanking it. So what kind of fun is that? There is no fun aspect. I would have thought it was fun if 20 million erased the enemy. That makes sense. 20 million is a huge number. It is not something that that should just decrease 75 to 62 or something like that. No. 20 million means the enemy should be one hit killed. So I think that's where some part of my fun aspect drops, and it just feels like the fight gets carried on a lot. It just feels elongated for no reason, and just kind of sucks, honestly. Now what the main thing that I was coming to, the one that I said that why X6 and sucks so much. If you reset your run, or if you lose, let's say by chance you get the wrong blessings, or you get cursed by wrong RNG, or you have the most crappiest luck ever, and if you surrender, if you want to try again, you lose 1 point, and that point means if you lose that 1 point, you lose your chance to grow closer to X7. And it's kind of like a rank system that you had in other games, in battle royales. The closest I can think of is Fortnite. So in Fortnite, you had to have a certain number of wins to progress to the next rank, and if you forfeited a match because let's say you got killed early, or you surrendered yourself or something like that, you lost points. Now this is a PvE game. It's player versus environment. It's player versus the goddamn CPU. There's no PvP element, so forfeiting a match shouldn't affect you. It's not like you're ruining the other person's game. You're just ruining the AI. And screw AI, honestly. So I have no idea why this thing even exists, and that's one of the biggest things why I'm not interested in doing DU at all. And I've completely lost interest in the Divergent Universe as well. Like, before I know I went and did random runs to just get some adrenaline out of it. Right now, even the weekly refreshes feel a lot, because it just kind of sucks. The day and night cycle is not that intriguing, because it's just, if it's day, you get more ult time and more heals, or if it's night, you get more damage. And ult is basically caster is favored or mighty favored, and daytime is basically tribi flavored or Aglaya favored or something like that. And it's just favored to the new characters. And it's rough. It's annoying. I mean, I loved the Divergent Universe. It was fun. And now we have tons and tons of HP inflation over here as well. In the endgame mode, that is a roguelike mode that did not deserve any sort of HP inflation. I mean, I don't know what the devs are smoking, but it certainly isn't good. I can understand the MOC, the Apocalyptic Shadow, Pure Fiction, give those HP inflation. I've let go. Like, I can't rant anymore on it. It's whatever it is. But the DU was one thing that was good for F2P casuals, for players like me who just wanted to see how good a character is, do some random bullshit go. And even now I can't do that, because it takes more than half an hour to complete one run on X6, even with the most craziest buffs imaginable. So it's just annoying, man. I mean, I don't know why they've gone this way, and clearly they don't see any. I mean, I don't see any changes in the future. Like, I really don't. I don't think Star Rail is going to get better. It's just going to get worse and worse, and people are just going to suck it up. So, Divergent Universe, man, it just isn't it on this patch. Like, Protean Hero absolutely sucks. The human comedy peak, it was fun, because even though it was a 5-5 shilling mode, my Acheron still worked. Argenti was pretty cool over there if you had all of those erudition buffs. Nihility DOT worked, follow-up attacks, preservation buffs, everything just worked. Over here, it's if you do not have an AoE unit, you're effectively screwed. And the new bosses are all AoE favored. So, like, let's see, you have Argenti, you have the Monkey Banana, you have Hule, I think, and then you have the Bug. The Bug is very annoying, but you have the Bug, and especially if the Bug has too much HP, it gets hell. So it is what it is. I mean, Star Rail is going in some way, and it's just sad. I mean, it's just sad. This game had potential, man. This game had potential. It's I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, you see on one side Genshin improving themselves. They're improving themselves, although they have this case of Abyss and all, which I'm going to discuss in another rant video. But Star Rail, man, you were the chosen one. You had to be great. But it is what it is. I mean, it's Honkai, so you gotta get used to the power creep and all, and this and that, and get the new character, and I don't know, man. I don't know. But whatever. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this rant. I hope the Divergent Universe is kind to you, because it certainly isn't to me. Like, never. But it is what it is. So I'll catch you in the next rant video, whenever that drops. And till then, have fun. Goodbye.